Hey friends, welcome back to Stacy Makes. I'm Stacy, the creator of this channel and the owner of a small crochet business called Apple Tree Boutique. So welcome to this channel. I am so glad you're here, and let's get started on what this video is going to be about. So this week's video is going to be about what I made this week. So if you haven't watched my other videos, I am market prepping, so I do have a market next Saturday on February the 24th. If you're watching this, it could be past that date, and there'll be videos about how that market went. But for now, I'm prepping for it and trying to make as much stuff as I possibly can. So I have 6 more days from today, but and my goal this last week was $250 worth of inventory. I did note last week that my hands were hurting a lot. I wasn't really sure how much I would get done this last week because I knew I needed to take some breaks. But I did find some very helpful videos on stretches to do for your wrists, for your hands, for your fingers, things like that. One of them was Camryn's Cute Creations, and I'll leave a link down below if you want to watch that video. And it is something that I have started to implement before I sit down to do. If I'm just going to sit down and do like a lunch break or something like that, I won't do stretches, but I'll do these before I get started, somewhere in the middle of the evening, and then also at the end of the night. I'm finding myself doing my wrist circles and flexing my fingers out. So just trying to take care of my well-being so I can continue to do this passion that I love so much and not hurt myself in the meantime. So $250 worth of inventory was the goal. If you watched last week's video, you know that I was trying to focus on what I call medium-sized plushies, which is the $15 to $24 range. I was short in that category by several, so I was going to try to do snugglers. So spoiler alert, I did 0 snugglers. I think I have just decided that I'm going to take what I have of snugglers, see where my price point sits, and kind of how well they sell. I do have, I believe, 10 to take in varying sizes and animals, so I'm going to do that and not try to focus on those because they do hurt my hands a little bit more doing the whole body of them, and as they're bigger I have to hold them up more and so on. So just decided not to do that. So let's get into what I made this week, and then we're going to talk about some new yarn that I got. So okay, so Super Bowl Sunday, I sat and watched the game last Sunday and made this little cutie, which is a sloth by Madeline Mayco. This sloth will fall in the medium category and will be $22. Cute pattern. Also during the Super Bowl, I made Madeline Mayco's baby cow. So this is her baby cow pattern. Obviously made in a Bernat speckle black kind of combo to make it look more like a cookies and cream or an Oreo cow. Cute. And this cow will be excuse me, will be $24. Made this elephant. This elephant is also by Madeline Mayco, so if you've seen my videos before, you know that I like her little teeny and baby animals for my medium category. This elephant's so cute when you like get his ears all stuck out like this. I didn't do the hair on this one. I have 2 other elephants, coral and a gray, that have the little hair spikes, and I thought I'm just not going to do hair on this one. I did more of a sparkly eye, and this one will be $24 as well. Then I decided I needed to do a few things that were baby friendly. I didn't have very many things that didn't have plastic safety eyes besides my snugglers. So I know jellyfish are really popular with little kids who like to just touch the tentacles and twirl them around their fingers, and so I made him with some little sleepy eyes. This jellyfish is $18. I'll leave a link down below. I'm not sure, I can't remember where this pattern came from. I think it's free on Instagram, but I'll link it below. And then I also made the larger version. If you watched last week's video, I'm making the baby fish from Stitch Sister Co. Excuse me again. And this is the big fish. So this is Bellamy fish. So this is the bigger version, which obviously takes a little bit longer, but I put the little embroidered sleepy eyes on it as well so that it could be considered baby safe, and it's kind of a snuggly, it's a pretty good size really. And this will be $16. Next, I tried a new pattern on YouTube from 1 Cent Crochet for a turtle. I'm trying to find a good medium-sized turtle that doesn't take as long as So if you saw my video last week, I like this Tiana the turtle with the jumbo yarn. Love this pattern. This jumbo yarn does hurt my hands a little bit more because of the larger hook. So I was trying to find something I can make in Sweet Snuggles or in Bernat that maybe had a little bit of a smaller hook size and not so big and didn't hurt my wrist so bad. So 1 Cent Crochet has this free turtle pattern out right now. This is Sweet Snuggles, and this is the new Gumdrop yarn by Premier, and I only made this one. It is a no-sew pattern. You do make the flippers in the head and then they sew them all into the round. But it is cute. I only made one, and I'll probably do 16 for this guy. I did a mini ice cream cone. So I have a large one in my inventory at the Antique Mall booth that is actually the same color. But this is the Wonder Crochet pattern. This is the mini version of the ice cream cone. This mini cone, I'm going to do 15 on it. It probably took me right around an hour for this. And I think because it doesn't have pieces and it's not super detailed, that I just wasn't sure if I could charge more like I do for my turtles and things like that. So it's the mini cone from Wonder Crochet. Cute pattern. There's a new pattern out. Nikolai Crochets and somebody else. I'll put it on the screen. You know me, I'll put it on the screen. I can't remember what it is right now, and I forgot to write it down. So, but anyway, it's a Chubby Dino. It's a free Instagram pattern. I thought I'm going to give this a try. It's completely no-sew. And so I sat down with my new Dreamland yarn, and I made these Chubby Dinos. And oh my gosh, okay, I timed myself on these dinos, and they take me right at 23 minutes. So, cute little pattern. I did a 6 loops on the hook bobble. It didn't really specify in the pattern, but just as an FYI, I did a 6 loop bobble stitch on this. The tail is no-sew. You come back and you sew it on into a hole that you leave, which is super neat, and then you come back and slip stitch, or not slip stitch, but you stitch on the surface. You surface crochet. Cute, just kind of sits in your hand. I think I'm going to do 10 on these, and I made 5. So I made 2 out of the Rainbow Plush yarn. They're all out of the new Dreamland yarn, which we'll talk about. The more earthy one. This cute, just really kind of a neon with navy as the base. It's really pretty. I don't know if I can hold all of these. Let's see. And then this one is kind of an earthy green, red, purple, turquoisey color with this. It is adorable. So here's all 5 of them. If I can get them all in my hands, all 5 of them made $10 a piece. So super cute. Highly recommend this pattern. Okay. Next, I made another baby fish with the sleepy eyes again. Like I said, I was trying to just make a few things that I knew I could put in a baby safe area for little bitty kids. It's very common for strollers, parents with little babies to come by and grab things out of the booth and be like, oh, and they give it to their little kid in the stroller who's probably maybe 1 to 2, and they're just loving on it. But I'm like, oh, it's got plastic safety eyes. And I tell them, I'm like, you know, I don't recommend the plastic safety eyes for kids 3 and under, just because of a safety hazard. If by some chance it would come out, they are locked in with the washer and they are secured on there and so on. But things happen, you know, dogs get a hold of toys or kids find a way to tear them up and the eyes come out. And so I just don't recommend them. So then they're like, well, what do you have? And so then I was like, I needed some place to refer them to of here's some items I do have that don't have ice. So the little baby fish, $10, falls in the small category. Okay, so Finn, if you follow my Instagram or my Etsy at all, my Finn pattern came out last week and I made some fins. So I made 4 more fins in different colors. Here they all are. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. I saw like glitter eyes on them. One of them just has plain black, more glitter eyes. These 2 are, we'll start with these 2 are Posh, the lime color, super cute. This is also Posh in the berry color. I haven't got all the fuzzies off yet. And then this is Parfait Chunky's neon highlighter, and oh my, it is neon. So super cute, and it has orange eyes. It's so adorable. Okay, so I priced them at 10 at the markets. This will be my first market I take my own pattern fin to. We'll see how he does. I think this makes 9 or 10 of them now I'm gonna have to take. So super excited about the fins. Okay, I made 1 more squid on my lunch break this week. If you watch my lunch break makes YouTube shorts, I had people in town for work, and I had to eat lunch with them a couple days this week, so I only got, I think, 3 days to crochet on my lunch break. This was one of my lunch break makes. This one takes me 30 minutes. These squid are going to be $12. Another lunch break make this week was this mini jelly. It's not the tiniest jelly I make, you'll see it next, but it takes me about maybe 20 minutes, and they're in the $8 range. And then I made these little mini jellyfish. These get keychains put on them, and they go in my on my keychain rack, which I think I'm going to do 6 on. These literally take me like 6 or 7 minutes a piece. They're so fast. So I made those 2. So all of this was lunch break stuff I got to make during my lunch break. And then I did 2 more jellies at home out of Sweet Snuggles. You can see the difference. These are Parfait Chunky and these are Sweet Snuggles Light, but I'll put them same amount of time so they'll go in the same bin. So I made 4 of these little jellies to go on the keychains. I sold out of all of them but 1 from the last show. I think I had 7 or 8. I sold all the jellies, so I'm like, those are super fast. Okay, so I had my mini tumbler pattern, which you guys have asked about my mini tumbler pattern. It is my own. I did ask last week if you guys were interested in a tutorial for this, and so I think this week I'm going to try to sit down and I'll film a tutorial on how to make this little mini tumbler. But I had one of every color of Posh. I make mine out of Posh yarn, and I had one of every color in stock, and then I sold this berry on Etsy, so I wanted to make one more so that I had every color in stock at the show. They do get a ball chain and a backpack clip, and they'll go on my keychain rack, but I will sell these for $8 at the show. Okay, so also, if you watched last week, you saw that I made 3 little baby turtles from a new free pattern that it did get released from lmsart.co and cofire.co, and I made 3 more. I'm trying to make more of the things I already have. So while I had Sweet Snuggles out for other things, I made 3 more of these little baby turtles. You'll find them on their Instagram, and the link will be below. I'm going to do $8 on these guys because they are smaller than tofu turtles, and obviously they're the smallest turtle I have. There is a Stitching with Abby pattern that I do make that has not bobbles but has little chain outs for the legs that I put on keychains. These aren't quite small enough for a keychain, but my keychain pattern is a little bit smaller. Okay, and there's the turtles. And then my monkey. So you guys saw Finn. I told you Finn's gonna be a series, hopefully, of the tag along little friends. These guys hang, so I have my tumbler here because I'm drinking my tea this morning. But they can be looped around your straw. They can go with you on your straw like this. So cute. My son likes to set his on top of his cup like this too. So when he's just sitting there chilling out, Finn is with him like that. So it's going to be a whole, and they have a flat bottom so that they can also sit on a desk and be your pal, on a desk or on a dashboard, something like that. So monkey is the next thing, and I finally finished my monkey pattern this week. So the tester call just went out last night, very late, because it was very late when I finally finished this guy. He has a little bit longer arms than Finn, because monkeys do, and then his little ears, his little tail, he's so cute, little flat bottom. So I made 1 more of these to finish up, and I'll probably make at least 1 or 2 more this week as I take the final pictures for the testers. Maybe this evening I'll do that because my hands definitely need a break today. So I'll probably write up that pattern today and make at least 1 more just to take the pictures of little certain things I like to insert into my patterns to show people the details, especially on how you attach these ears, because they are crocheted in the round and then reattached. And anyway, so this is my monkey tag along friend. Her name is officially Millie the monkey. So we got Finn the frog and Millie the monkey, and I'm so excited. Last night I finished because I was on a roll last night. Sometimes it just flows, and I'm just like, you get in the groove and you're like, okay, I know what the next animal is going to be. And I thought I did, and as I was starting to work the pattern, I'm not going to tell you what I was trying to make, but it definitely turned within 3 rounds. I'm like, this is totally a mouse. So the next one will be a mouse, and this doesn't have a name yet. And I don't know if this will be my final pattern. I kind of like him the way he is. His little top arms are a little bit shorter than Finn, and his little bottom ones are, and he's got a little tail. his little pointy nose. You can see his nose. So cute. And his eyes are smaller, obviously. His little beady eyes, because he's, you know. Anyway, so let me know if you're excited about this mouse pattern. It's kind of a random animal, I know, but you got a mouse and a frog and a monkey, and who says that they can't all hang out together? So mouse pattern also made this week. So all of my tag along friends, I'm keeping them all the same-ish size, and they take all the same amounts of time. The monkey probably takes just a little bit longer because there is some color changing that you do here, which I do a non-tie-off color change where I just drop and pick back up this color inside. But anyway, so this is the mouse, and so I have 4 fins, 1 monkey, and 1 mouse that I did this week, all at $10 a piece. Okay, I think that is it on my table besides my big turtles. So I did find a pattern. Once I tried the 1-cent crochet pattern, I did go back to this pattern that I had from CJ Design. So this is a YouTube tutorial as well called Fred the Turtle. And I went back to it and I was like, I'm gonna make Fred the Turtle again, and I'm gonna try to do a few things a little differently than the original pattern stated to try to make it a little bit more the way I wanted it to come out and look. So this pattern is really great the way it is written. I'll show you. This is Fred the way he's written. He's kind of a little bit floppy. You can see the top of his shell's a little bit more coned than this one. So what I've excuse me, what I've done here is, instead of doing 6 single crochets in the magic ring and then doing a round of increases to get 12, I did 12 single crochets in the magic ring. Sometimes if you want a more flat top to something, that's a good way to level off something. So he's got 12 single crochets in the round, and so I combine round 1, 2, and then I just crochet like normal. I follow the pattern all the rest of the way, so everything else is the same, except for when you get to doing this outer shell rim, she tells you to chain 1 and turn and then finish off. I don't do that. I go ahead and do front loop only, which it is front loop only when you go the other way, but it's considered back loop because you turned. But anyway, I do front loop only. I just keep going in the round. I liked that a little bit better than doing the turning and then trying to join it. And then I just joined the color for the shell right into it, and you can barely see it. So, and then I did everything else the same on this pattern as she has listed, but then once I finished off the bottom, I used a method in my other turtle patterns where I leave a really long string, and I go back in and attach the head a little bit more to the shell. So you go back in to this area here and you tack the head up a little bit more so he doesn't flop out so bad. So as you can see, his head sticks up a whole lot more. This head is very floppy. And then this head sticks up a little bit more, but it is adorable. This is the new Dreamland yarn too that we're going to talk about from Lion, and then this is just Bernat blanket and sand. And I made 2 of these guys. Here's the other one, also in Dreamland yarn. So as you noticed, when I had that yarn out, I made dinos that matched. Trying to make use of the yarn I had pulled. So but anyway, yeah, I love this pattern. I did time it. It takes me like right at an hour and like 5-ish minutes. I might, if they just fly off the shelf this way, I might do 24. I'm starting to think I might do 24 instead. I do 28 for my large Tiana turtles, which have the bigger, plusher yarn, and these take me an hour and 20 minutes to make. And it's a little bit more probably expensive yarn, I would say. But anyway, these are so cute. These are probably one of my favorite things I've made this week outside of all my little fin collection I'm gathering. So adorable. Look at those eyes. So, I needed mediums. I made 9 mediums. I made 17 small items. I made 4 what I call my minis, which is the $5 to $7 range, for a total of 28. Actually, it's 29 if you count the mouse. 29 items this week that will go to the show, and a total of $341 in inventory. So I actually beat last week, and I was trying to take it easy. So that's what I made this week. I hope you enjoyed that part, and I will be back in a second, and we're going to talk some yarn. Okay, we're reset and back with yarn talk. So Dreamland yarn by Lion. So cover story, Dreamland is what it's called. I'll show you the front of these. So these were just recently added into Joann's as well. This is called, let's see, where's it at? Rainbow. Surprise. Okay, so this is Rainbow. It's got every color, I think, of the rainbow in there, with white is the main twist color. So it's kind of like 2 strands. It doesn't necessarily fall apart at the ends. You can see this is my end. If you were to sit and try, you might be able to kind of separate them, but you really can't. It is a size 6 super bulky, which we know the size 6 super bulky, if you crochet a lot, especially plushies, you know that this size weight yarn ranges anywhere from Parfait Chunky, which to me is more of a size 5, up to this. This is a heavy size 6. I did pair it with Bernat blanket, and it worked fine in this scenario. I did change my hook size though. When I did 7 on the Dreamland yarn, and I went to a 6.5 when I was on the Bernat part. You get 148 yards. I have yet to use a whole one. This is what is left of the only brown one that I got, and I made this shell, and I made 1 dino out of it. It is really a neat pattern. So it kind of goes from, you can see it worked up here, it goes from having the stripes kind of in it, to having some solid, to having some stripe in it, to having some solid. It doesn't change super quickly or super long. Here, I'll pull some out, you can see it. It goes from here to here. That's about the average, probably like 8 inches, maybe a little bit longer in some cases. This is probably more like 10, 11, 12. And then it went back to green, and it's about, anywhere from 7 to 8 again. And then it'll have a solid bit in there. So it's not like it's a super fast change where it's going to make like dots necessarily, but it's going to make a little bit of a subtle stripe in your, this is Bonfire, which I think is a really appropriate name for it. It's a very earthy toned, rusty colors. This one is called Prairie Sunset. It's beautiful, like it's got like a warm teal base, and then kind of a reddy orange and purple and coral in it. Colors I probably would have not put together, but then in this yarn it just works. So that's Prairie Sunset. This is Cosmos, which I really like this. It's got a navy base, and then it's got like a neon hot pink, light blue, a coral neon, and then a greenish yellow. It's a kind of a lime color. It's really pretty. And then I got the pink colorway called Fairy Garden, and this has got a pink base with purple, light blue, and green, and another a little bit of a darker pink in it. You see it there. I haven't made anything with this one yet. And then Pebble Beach. There are more. I did not get every single colorway as much as I wanted to. So that's the Lion brand cover story. I really like it. So my recommendations are to size up your hook maybe 0.5 millimeters from your Bernat. Definitely recommend that yarn. It's very good as an accent on things, or to do fun things like these dinos, and then use it as find something solid to use as an accent. So, okay, next up is Gumdrop, which I know you guys have seen if you are on Instagram or on YouTube at all and watching stuff and in the yarn addicts club. You know that Premier came out with a new yarn called Gumdrop, and it is a plush yarn like Parfait Chunky. It is, in my opinion, a little bit thicker. Let me pull out a Parfait Chunky. I'll find a neon up here. This is a neon, but this is a Parfait Chunky. I'll pull out and this is the Gumdrop, the lighter green, so you can see them. I would say that the Parfait Chunky is definitely a little bit thinner than this. It's almost like they're the Bloom chenille. If you have the Bloom chenille, it's like the weight of the Bloom chenille. So definitely somewhere in between. I think you could pair it with Sweet Snuggles and you'd be fine. I did that here. This is Gumdrop on the shell, and this is the Sweet Snuggles solid underneath, kind of like I did with the Bernat and the Dreamland on the other turtles. I can't remember if I changed my hook size between them, but I think I used the same hook size on the Gumdrop as I normally do on Sweet Snuggles. So my review of this, I like this. It's got all of it has a little bit of a white base. It's and then the color, the white doesn't change, but the color with the white changes as you go along. It sheds like Parfait Chunky. So if you don't like the way Parfait Chunky or Sweet Snuggles sheds, it's the similar. It does show you the pattern on here of this yarn, and this does very abruptly change colors. It's very long between them. So if you are looking for something that's going to stripe let's say, I made this whole turtle shell, right? And then I made this jellyfish, all of the tentacles, and then I made part of the front of this fish. All of this was out of the blue part, which I think it started in blue. This particular skein did. Some of them start in different colors, which is another thing about them. When you center pull them, or outside pull them, they start and finish in different colors. So I've got two different, I'll show you that in a second, but two of the same color, but they start and end with a different color inside that skein. So there's a lot of yarn in each color in here. So anyway, just plan accordingly for that if by chance you are making something and you're hoping that it's going to stripe it. So this is what I was talking about before, like these two are the same color of Surfside, and they start and end with totally different colors. So if I center pull each of these, they would totally start and end with the different color. They have the same color map on them, but the way that they're wound is not the same. So let me talk about the colors that I did get. I did not get every color again, but this is blueberry. Obviously different shades of blue. This is Surfside. Well, as you saw, this is different. These are both Surfside. Greens, blues, like kind of a turquoisey color in there. Very, very pretty. And there is, this is called a size 6, and it is 174 yards. This one is Cherry Limeade. You can see that. Oranges, pinks, key lime greens, pretty colors. This one is Sunshine, orange, red, yellow. This one is Primary, Confetti, pretty teal, orange, and pink in this. And then this one is Popsicle. So it's a purpley pink color, blue and orange. It's very pretty. I will use them possibly for larger things like these, like when it's getting ready to color change, grab a fish, start a fish, and it'll color change my fish, so I don't have to color change the fish, but it'll actually be 2 different colors. I would love to see this yarn just in its own skeins, honestly, or in a quicker color change like the Dreamland. I would love to have seen it in something that maybe only went 1 to 1.5 feet and then color changed. 1.5 feet color changed, where you would have had stripes all around an animal instead of having like half the animal color and half the animal another color. But really like good for bigger projects if you're wanting a color change without having to actually do a color change. Or like I said, you can do a lot of smaller projects and then kind of plan over where the color changes are to do things like the fish, where it'll color change for you. So that's really and it's soft, and I like that it's a little thicker than normal Parfait Chunky, for sure. So okay, I think that's it, guys, this week. Me and my daughter from Old Soul Factory Crochet's YouTube channel, Tara, this is my daughter, we're getting together this week to do a mock setup, I think Wednesday or Thursday. We have brand new market setups, market shelves, baskets, signs, risers, and we have a smaller than usual space at this market. We only have a 6x9. That is all they had left by the time that we got our application in for this market. So especially with the smaller things anyway this week, I got my medium goal hit, decided not to do snugglers. I told you my market plan and my inventory plan is very fluid. So this week will be all about, one, getting my pattern done for the monkey and the testers, and getting all of that out this week. It's going to be about getting and doing more of what I already have. So more dinos, more turtles, more fish, whatever it is I decide this week I would like to have more baskets full of. We're just have to kind of figure out within all of that, you know, what do we have in baskets and things this week, and how are we going to set it up so we kind of have a plan before we go. I think that's it. Thank you again for being here. If you liked this content or this type of content, like, subscribe. It really helps me out, and it'll help you get notified when there's a new video out for you to view. So like and subscribe below. Leave a comment if you got all the way through here. Leave a comment if you are going to try the Gumdrop or the Dreamland, or you're just neither one of them really appeal to you. I'd love to talk about that yarn. So we'll talk to you later this week, guys. Have a great week. Thank you. Happy crocheting.